All right, we're here with Chris Williams, the publisher of CycloneFanatic.com. What's up, man? How you doing?
Just cruising, man. This I-74 is just gorgeous this time of year. A lot to look at. Hey, look at those trees right there. I mean, if that doesn't just spew the word beauty, I don't know what does. I'm doing all right though, man. I got my Scion here, courtesy of Wilson Toyota of Ames. This bad boy getting pretty awesome gas mileage. You know, we can't complain.
All right, so there's a lot of Cyclones, former Cyclones, a lot of guys with ties in the NCAA tournament. Which guy that's not at Iowa State right now, that's in the tournament now, are you most rooting for?
Let's go through them real quick. You've got Clinton Mann at Davidson. You've got Eric McKnight at Florida Gulf Coast. He's playing my Hoyas, so I'm not rooting for him. You have Tavon Sledge at Iona. We're going to see him play here in a couple days. Wes Eichmeyer at Colorado State, and he's playing for Coach Larry Eustace. And then you have Greg McDermott at Creighton. I'm biased. I love Greg McDermott. I think that, and there's a lot of distaste out there, I know, from Iowa State fans towards him based off of how it all went down in Ames. I'm rooting for Greg just because he's a phenomenal human being. As far as the players go, though, you kind of get in the double dip when you go Wes Eichmeyer and Larry Eustace, because I think we're all cheering for Colorado State to do well. I think I would say Tavon Sledge, though, selfishly, because I'd love to see the Clones take on Iona in round 3. Would you not?
I'd love it.
To me, that's like automatic Sweet 16 if you could work that out. Plus, Tavon's a cool kid. I don't know.
2 versus 15, though. I don't think that's happened too often.
Don't start that. We don't need to go there.
I apologize, by the way. I apologize.
That's some nasty territory for the Cyclone Nation. Now, I'm rooting for Tavon, though. I think he's a neat kid. He's the undersized guy. He can jump out of the gym. Really cool dude. So I'll root for Tavon Sledge probably the most. And then cheering for all of them, though. I mean, they're all – I didn't get to know Eric McKnight very well. But Wes Eichmeyer, I remember covering his recruitment, and – you see, he's a small-town guy. I really like Wes Eichmeyer, the fact that he came from a tiny town in Nebraska. He was not heavily recruited, and he could shoot the lights out of the gymnasium when he was in high school. He's in a perfect situation. That's a good league for him to be in.
What's going to happen on Friday, Chris? You got Notre Dame and the Cyclones. Everyone wants to know your thoughts.
If I told you I knew it was going to happen, I'd be a stone-cold liar. That's the case with this team every single game this year. I feel like an idiot going on Fanatic and making predictions game by game because it's impossible to do with this team. I do like the matchup like everybody else in America does. The trick is going to be tempo. Notre Dame's going to try and burn that clock. But you know, it's tough as a matchup it is for Iowa State in that circumstance. It's the same way for Notre Dame too. They've got to find a way to guard 5 guys who can all shoot the basketball. And you got to spread the floor. I mean, look what Iowa State's trying to do with Jeff Withey every time they've played this year. It's going to be similar.
Ball movement.
Yeah, it's be ball movement. I mean, I got a piece coming out tomorrow. I interviewed T.J. Otzelberger last night, who's in charge of scouting for Iowa State, and I asked him to compare Notre Dame to a Big 12 team. He told me Kansas State, and he said it pretty easily, actually. It's a deal where this is Iowa State basketball. This is not anything new. They've been undersized all year, and they're going to be undersized as long as Fred Hoiberg's the head coach. They're not going to be bringing in 7-1, 7. They're not. Adam Woodbury's aren't going to be coming to Iowa State. This is not the way they're going to play basketball. So, yeah, how do you match up? It's tough, but you've got to get those guys out of their element too. They're going to take it right to Melvin Edgem and George Niang and try and get them into foul trouble. And Iowa State's got to get those guys away from the basket and pick up some fouls on them. You know, you're going to have the size advantage. George Niang can put it on the floor. He can draw some cheap fouls on those big guys for the Irish. So I think it works. I think it works both ways. You got to try and keep them out of foul trouble, but you know, that's been the case all year. This is nothing new for the Cyclones. Bill Self, I think, finally got Iowa State game planned right the 3rd time. Mike Bray's a great basketball coach, but can he nail that down in the first time they're going to play? You know Hoiberg's going to make an adjustment or two. It's a chess match, man. I think it's 50-50. I'm taking the Clones. You know I'm taking the Clones.
What are we driving in here, Chris? What is this?
See, this is a Scion. Get a close-up of right there, Matt. This is a Scion. This bad boy is, man, it just drives like an absolute beaut. Tron Smith, my main man, hooked us up with this thing. We had some travel plans fall through. Not one rental car in all of Des Moines. I call up Tron Smith.
Probably because of the big wrestling tournament.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on. And it's spring break. But Denny Wilson, we want to say thank you to them. Wilson Toyota of Ames, 2212 South Duff Avenue, hooked us up with this Scion, man. This thing is a sweet, sweet ride. I'm really having a good time driving it.